Be having a first look at the new Adept rocket launcher, the Hothead, which is up this week. So essentially, this is the first roll that I got. So I got hard launch, impact casing, field prep, clown cartridge. I believe this to be one of the best rolls on this rocket launcher. There may be a roll that's better than it, but this is the roll I got. You can also put Adept mods in there. So I've got the big ones, which gives you extra damage against powerful combatants, bosses and vehicles. So it rolls major spec and boss spec all in one. You could run Adept blast radius, for example, get extra blast radius, but I would still probably recommend Adept big ones in it. So to tell you what is on it and what you want to spec for. So for this first column, all the launches, we have volatile launch, confined launch, countermass, hard launch, linear commentator, quick launch, and smart drift control. Honestly, you don't need to worry too much about this, but I would optimize for velocity. That's sort of my playstyle with these rockets. Rather than blast radius, I'd rather optimize for velocity. So hard launch is just giving me that, so that's perfect for me. But this is more personal preference. It depends on yourself. Now we have in this column black powder, which also specs more for blast radius, and impact casing. We also have in this column alloy casing, high velocity rounds, implosion rounds. I would say the best perk in this slot, if we were to really go down to it, would be impact casing, especially with the roll I've got. However, if you haven't got a good reload perk on your Hothead, you can use alloy casing. If you get that, it's also pretty decent. Okay, so with these weapons you get 2 perks in this slot. The perks that you can get there are ensemble, tracking, field prep, quick draw, threat detector, demolitionist. So what's the best 2 perks? Well, I would say that tracking and field prep, having the option to switch between the two, is really good. I would say field prep's best in slot because of what it does in terms of ammo reserves. I've banged on about how good field prep is. What it can stack with and things, I'll talk about that in a minute. This final column has clown cartridge, vorpal weapon, danger zone, fresh, explosive light, adrenaline junkie. The only 3 perks you want to go for in this perk column would be either clown cartridge, vorpal weapon, or explosive light. Explosive light being the highest damage buff out of the 3, out of all the perks. When you pick up an orb of light, you get the damage boost. That is the highest damage that you're going to do with a rocket launcher. However, clown cartridge has a lot of utility, which I'm going to show you in a minute. So I would say maybe the absolute best roll would be, you know, a launch that you like, impact casing, probably field prep. Even though tracking's useful, having the field prep is just so good in terms of the reload and the ammo reserves and everything like that. And then explosive light here, but this is just the first roll I got. Okay, so this roll, if you're not unfamiliar, I use this roll but on a different weapon. I've used it for ages. It's this weapon right here. So it's the exact same roll, basically. That's different. But we have impact case and field prep clown cartridge. This means you can double rocket a champion. It's a big deal. Clown cartridge basically makes it that you have 2 rockets in the chamber. You have to manually reload it. So what you do is shoot your first one. Obviously you crouch. Then you can double rocket like this. With field prep and rocket reserves, you get +10, so you get 10 rockets, which that's another thing that explosive light's not going to give you, and you're not going to be able to double rocket champions, as I said. So that's sort of how it works. I've used the Royal Entry a lot in GMs. The difference is the Royal Entry is slightly better because it has a precision frame. This weapon fires a small auto tracking missile. It's got tracking on it. This doesn't have it. So there's pros and cons to both weapons. I could go tracking, but yes, I'll lose field prep. So I could go tracking, clown cartridge, but you're not getting all the benefits from field prep. So the other benefits are that it stacks for reserves and scavenger. So if you get double rocket ammo finder going on, you run rocket scavenger, you will find you will barely run out of ammo for this rocket because you'll get 4 rockets off a main brick and 2 2 to 3 rockets, I believe, on an ammo finder brick, which is insane because you're just going to be getting ammo all the time. So that's what I've got so far. As I said, I would say field prep explosive light is still going to be better just because of its increased damage, and you're still going to get plenty of ammo with field prep on there. But that was the first look at it.